Over 250 people just lost their entire retirement savings. The guy who took it bought himself a £2 million mansion. His sentence? 8 months. Suspended. Never spent a day in jail. 5 years later, that same company just unveiled 4 brand new motorcycles, backed by £200 million from India. This is the story of Norton Motorcycles, the biggest scandal you've never heard of, and the most controversial comeback in motorcycle history. Act 1. The Golden Age. Let's rewind. Way back, Norton Motorcycles, founded in 1898. Yeah, before cars even became a thing. This wasn't just any bike company. This was the bike company. Isle of Man. TT. Dominated. World speed records? Obliterated. British engineering at its absolute finest. The Commando. The Dominator. The Atlas. These weren't just motorcycles, man. These were legends. By the 1960s and 70s, Norton was a cultural icon. Think James Dean cool, Steve McQueen badass. Cafe racer culture? Norton started that. But here's where it all went wrong. Like most British motorcycle manufacturers, Norton got absolutely demolished by the Japanese. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki. They came in with cheaper bikes, better reliability, and Norton went bankrupt. Multiple times. Changed hands more times than a used Harley. The brand became a zombie, barely alive, shuffling between owners who'd promise revival, then fail spectacularly. Until 2008, when a guy named Stuart Garner bought it. Act 2, the Stuart Garner era. Now, Stuart Garner. On paper, he looked legit. Former gamekeeper turned businessman, motorcycle enthusiast, said all the right things. We're bringing Norton back, British engineering will ride again. All that. And honestly, at first, it looked promising. He unveiled a new Commando 961, retro styling, modern tech. Then came the V4 Superbike prototypes, limited production. Crazy expensive, but people were buying into the dream. But behind the scenes, something was very, very wrong. Between 2012 and 2013, Garner set up 3 pension schemes. The Donington MC Pension Scheme, the Dominator 2012, and the Commando 2012. Sounds legitimate, right? Tax-efficient retirement funds for motorcycle enthusiasts? Except Garner was the sole trustee, and he convinced over 250 people to transfer their pensions into these schemes. We're talking life savings here. Retirement funds. Money people spent decades building. The pitch was simple. Invest in Norton, get preference shares, support British manufacturing, secure your retirement. Win-win. Here's the problem. UK law says pension schemes can only invest a maximum of 5% into the employer's company. That's it. 5%. Stuart Garner illegally invested 100%, nearly £11.5 million. Every single penny. And then he spent it, building bikes, funding operations, running Norton like his personal piggy bank. Oh, and you want to know the most disgusting part? While victims were begging for their money back, Stuart Garner was living in a £2 million Gothic mansion, Donington Hall. 26 acres, built in 1790. Bought it in 2013. The same year he was draining pension funds. Made it Norton's headquarters and his family home. And here's the kicker. After Norton collapsed and Garner declared bankruptcy, you know what happened to Donington Hall? He kept it, restructured the ownership, protected it from creditors. So while 250 people lost their life savings, Garner's still living in that mansion right now. Today. Remember that when I tell you his sentence. Meanwhile, victims started asking questions. Hey, where's my money? Can I transfer my pension out? And Garner? He stalled, made excuses. One victim, Robert Dewar, tried to transfer his pension in 2018. Over £140,000. Garner told his daughter, because Dewar was too ill to handle it himself, Norton needs time to cash flow the request. They're a trading business. Trust us. 3 years. It took 3 years and a legal battle for them to get that money back. And Robert Dewar? He died before seeing justice. But it gets worse. January 2020. Norton goes into administration. Bankrupt. Again. And suddenly, over 250 people realize their pensions are gone. Vanished. Nearly £11.5 million, just gone. The pensions Ombudsman investigates, finds Garner acted dishonestly and in breach of duty, orders him to repay over £14 million. But Garner declares bankruptcy, says he's got nothing. February 2022, Stuart Garner pleads guilty to 3 counts of illegal pension investment. March 2022, he's sentenced to 3 separate 8-month terms, running concurrently. Total? 8 months. Suspended for 2 years, meaning he never spent a single day behind bars. Now look, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a guy who loves motorcycles. But you're telling me this dude illegally invested nearly £12 million from over 250 people's retirement funds, bought himself a mansion. Some of those victims died waiting for justice, and he walks free? Living in that same mansion? That's absolutely insane to me. White-collar crime at its finest, folks. The victims? They finally got compensated in August 2024, 4 years later, from the UK Fraud Compensation Fund. Meaning British taxpayers footed the bill, not Garner. Reports showed Garner's personal contribution, a pathetic £36,400 out of nearly £10 million in compensation. That's less than half of 1%. Do the math. And here's what really burns me. Some of these victims? They died waiting for justice, never saw a penny. Their families had to fight for years while Garner walked free. That's not just a scandal, that's a tragedy. You know what's wild? Logan Paul's crypto zoo scam? $3 million. Everyone lost their minds. Stuart Garner? £11.5 million. That's over $14 million from working class people's pensions, and most people have never heard of it. Where's the outrage? So yeah, Norton's history? It's complicated. Act 3, TVS takeover. April 2020. While Garner's empire is crumbling, a buyer emerges. TVS Motor Company, Indian motorcycle giant. One of the largest two-wheeler manufacturers in the world. 4.7 million units sold annually. They buy Norton's intellectual property, brand rights, and assets for an undisclosed amount. And here's where opinions get spicy. So, is Norton still British? The factory's in Solihull, England. But it's owned by an Indian company, funded with Indian money. Some purists say it's not a real Norton anymore. Others say who cares, at least it's alive. I'll let you guys fight about that in the comments. I'm staying out of it, for now. What we do know is this. TVS invested over £200 million over 5 years. That's not monopoly money. That's real commitment. They built a state-of-the-art factory, hired 25% more staff, brought in world-class engineers, including Brian Gillen, former MV Agusta Chief Technical Officer, guy who helped develop some of the most beautiful Italian superbikes ever made. And then they brought in this guy as Chief Creative Advisor, Professor Jerry McGovern, Jaguar Land Rover's Chief Creative Officer. Now, if you've been following automotive news, you know Jaguar just had one of the most controversial rebrands in history. Went full electric, ditched their heritage, pissed off half their fan base. So naturally, when people heard McGovern was working with Norton, the internet freaked out. Oh great, he's gonna ruin Norton too. But here's the thing, McGovern's not designing the bikes himself. He's guiding the brand philosophy and design direction. Simon Skinner and his team at Norton are doing the actual work. And the result, they actually look pretty damn good. Clean, minimalist, no ridiculous winglets, just smooth, purposeful design. Personally, I think they nailed it, but again, comment sections that way. Act 4, EICMA Reveal, November 4th, 2025, EICMA Milan. The most important motorcycle show in the world. TVS-owned Norton unveils their grand plan, 4 bikes now, 2 more coming. Total of 6 models by 2030. The flagship? Norton Manx R, named after their legendary TT racer from the 1940s through 60s. But this ain't a retro tribute bike. Brand new 1200cc V4 engine, 72-degree configuration, acclaimed 206 horsepower at 11,500 RPM, 130 Newton-meters of torque at 9,000 RPM. Wet weight? 204 kilograms. That's 450 pounds. Power-to-weight ratio? less than 1 kilogram per horsepower. That's Ducati Panigale territory. But here's what's wild. No wings, no massive aero package. Norton says they don't need them because of their semi-active Marzocchi suspension electronically adjusts damping in real time based on throttle, braking, and lean angle. Honestly, I love this approach. Modern superbikes look like angry transformers. The Manx R looks elegant, like a superbike that actually belongs on the road, not just the track. The other bikes? Manx naked version. Same V4, no fairings. Then the Atlas and Atlas GT, 585cc parallel twin adventure bikes middleweight segment, taking on the Yamaha Tenere 700, BMW F850 GS, that whole class. Tech? 8-inch touchscreen TFT. GoPro control. Smartphone integration. Smartwatch connectivity. Voice command capability, because apparently even your motorcycle needs to talk back now. Brembo High-Pure brakes, carbon fiber BST wheels, Bosch electronics with cornering cruise control. Yeah, cruise control on a superbike for corner carving. Wild. Now the million-pound question. How much? Norton hasn't announced pricing yet, but let's speculate. The old V4 SV, £44,000 back in 2022. But that was hand-built, low volume, with only 185 horsepower. The Manx R has 206 horsepower, way better electronics, and modern production methods. Ducati Panigale 5 4-base? Around £30,000. BMW S 1000 RR? Similar range. I'm guessing Norton prices the Manx R at £28,000 to £32,000 to undercut Ducati slightly while maintaining that premium positioning. The Atlas? Probably £10,000 to £13,000 to compete with the Yamaha Tenere 700 and Triumph Tiger 900. We'll see if I'm right. Drop your predictions in the comments. Act 5. The verdict. So, can Norton actually pull this off? Is this really their comeback, or just another false start? Look, I want Norton to succeed. I really do. But let's be real about the challenges. The superbike market is brutal. Ducati owns it, BMW's aggressive, Aprilia's brilliant, and people have long memories. The Garner scandal isn't ancient history, it happened 5 years ago. Some victims are still dealing with the trauma. But the TVS backing is real. Over £200 million invested over 5 years isn't pocket change. The factory can build 8,000 bikes a year. They've got over 200 dealerships planned across UK, US, Europe, and India. The engineering team is legit. 18,500 miles of testing. Proper homologation, not the sketchy MSVA single approval stuff from the Garner era. These bikes will actually meet international standards. The design? Polarizing. Some people love the minimalism, others think it's boring. That's fine. That's what comment sections are for. Is it really a British bike if it's owned by India? Honestly, who cares? You know what? Here's a take that'll piss some people off. TVS, an Indian company, just did what decades of British owners couldn't. Actually build quality Norton motorcycles that might survive more than 5 years. They've won JD Power Awards for quality. BMW trusts them to build G310 bikes. Their manufacturing discipline is world-class. Maybe British heritage needed Indian engineering execution to survive. Controversial? Hell yeah. But name me one British-owned Norton Revival that worked since 1990. I'll wait. The bikes are designed and built in England by British engineers with British heritage. That's Norton enough for me. But you might feel differently, and that's okay. Should we separate the art from the artist? Can we celebrate these new bikes while acknowledging the pain Garner caused? I think we can. The victims got their compensation, finally. Garner's banned and bankrupted, supposedly. The new Norton has nothing to do with him. It's a clean slate, but we shouldn't forget what happened. Over 250 people lost their savings. Some died waiting for justice. That's the real cost of the old Norton. And if we forget that, we're doing those victims a disservice. So here we are. Norton motorcycles, 127 years old, survived world wars, survived the Japanese invasion, survived bankruptcy, survived fraud. And now, they're back, with Indian money, a controversial design advisor, Bikes that look nothing like the old Norton, but everything like the future. Will it work? Hell, I don't know, but it's gonna be fun to watch. Alright, your turn. 3 questions. 1. Would you actually buy one of these bikes knowing the history? 2. Is a TVS-owned Norton a real Norton or just a brand name slapped on an Indian bike? 3. Do the victims deserve more than they got? Drop your answers below. And if I got anything wrong, which half of you probably think I did, absolutely roast me in the comments. I can take it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pin the most controversial take in the comments. Whether I agree with it or not, the one that makes the most people mad. Let's see what you got. Oh, and all my sources for this video. Court documents, pension regulator reports, ICMA press releases, all linked in the description. Do your own research. I want you to. Hit subscribe if you want more motorcycle deep dives like this, and I'll see you in the next one.